What's up guys, we are back in Grow Garden on Roblox, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the best way to level up your pets and get them ready for the mutation machine. Now as always guys, if this video sounds interesting, please make sure to drop a like and smash that subscribe button. And now, let's get into the video. Alright, so the meta pets in Grow Garden have completely changed. What used to be some of the best pets for leveling up pets are no longer really on top, and some pets have actually started gaining value and are really in high demand. Just to get an understanding of the pets you should be using, I'm just going to go over to the tier list here. Here we are. We just have some of the main pets that you'll see people using, and these are some of the best ones. First off, we have the regular peacock. Now, the regular peacock, a lot of people overlook, and that's because there's the Titanic peacock, 15 seconds, everybody wants. One of the best pets for the second best leveling pet in the game, besides the Mimic Octopus Titanic, which we'll talk about. But the Peacock, if it's normal, decent KG, and you get Rainbow on it, it can be really good with the French Rye Ferret. Now, then again, so I'm putting that in B tier. Now, French Rye Ferret, this isn't ranking by value, this is ranking by how useful it is. The Peacock is only useful when you have a French Rye Ferret, where you can reduce the cooldown of. If you have a good KG, nice French Rye Ferret, that if you get a Rainbow max level, it can get close to that like 30-minute cooldown, which you want, then that can be also in B tier. So do not overlook the Peacock Rainbow max level. As long as it's above 20 kg, if you get enough of them, it can be really useful. Now, we have owls in general, like the blood owl and mainly the barn owl. These are going in D tier. They are good for leveling up pets when you are just getting into the game. However, they're not really what you're looking for because they don't gain you a specific amount of XP. It's just additional XP. Same with the Wisp, but the Wisp is significantly better, but it's just not very beneficial to have on your team if you can just get some Peacocks with the Rainbow or Gold Mutation max level. Next up, we have the Sea Turtle, and the Sea Turtle itself would be where the Wisp is. You want to get the Rainbow max level, but if you get a Titanic, that's when we're talking about an A tier pet. This thing could be really good. The only downfall is it can give 2,500 XP per second, or per 20 seconds. However, that's how much it does, and there's no way of guaranteeing a level. As with the Peacock, you can really guarantee that level. So that's why the Titanic Peacock is going up in S tier. Queen Bee refreshes pets ability. Used correctly, it is behind the French Rye Ferret. Same with the Dilophosaurus. Capybara, I'm not a huge fan of, but people do use it. I would prefer over owls. And then the normal Mimic is not used for leveling up pets, but we are talking about the Titanic one, which can copy the ability of a Dilophosaurus or a Queen Bee or quite any pet that you want that is good for aging besides the French Rye Ferret. So now you have a rough understanding of where all these pets kind of place in scale of each other. Now, like I said earlier, and this is the first point, and the first thing you really need to think about is how good normal peacocks are. I was lucky enough to hatch with Brontos some decent sized peacocks, and I have been mutating them, not this one. But I was able to get gold today on this peacock right here, which now I'm just going to age up. Now, obviously, Rainbow would be better, and once I get all my other peacocks, at least gold or hopefully Rainbow, then I'll go back and get all my peacocks Rainbow. But golden peacocks also are really good, and a lot of people always are like, oh, you need that 15-second Titanic nice peacock. But no, decent KG, Rainbow, or Gold max ones, if you have like 5, 6, or 7, yeah, I know. If you have around that amount, they can actually be really beneficial with a French Rye Ferret, so keep that in mind. Now, I'm saying French Rye Ferret. When you don't have a Titanic peacock, you want to always be using French Rye Ferrets. Doesn't really matter as much when you actually have a Titanic one. If you're using a Sea Turtle or Dillo, still French Rye Ferrets will be the best. But you want to have French Rye Ferrets. And French Rye Ferrets are really good for leveling up pets, just in general. Obviously, in general, it's not amazing because essentially what it is a pet that almost every hour, and this is a small one, every maybe like 54 minutes if it's really small, max level, adds a level to a pet. All you have to do is pair a few peacocks, and that can really drastically go down. So it is extremely OP. The peacock French eye ferret method is crazy OP, and you do not need Titanic peacocks to pull this off. Now, we obviously have the capybaras. Yeah, I don't have any on this account because I do not like this method of leveling pets, and I also do not like any owls to level up pets or wisps in general. I'll actually be trading away my wisps because they aren't useful to me anymore because they're just not very beneficial. Now, basically, I wouldn't recommend using capybaras, but if that's the only thing you have available to you, go ahead, use it. But the best beginner method is just decent sized peacocks and a decent sized French eye ferret in the pet you're trying to level up. The more French eye ferrets, the better, and this is a great method. You don't need Titanic pets. But the capybaras, if you're just getting into it and you're willing to take a few days to get a pet kind of high level, go ahead, do it. Now we have the Dilophosaurus, which the Dilophosaurus method is trash. Do not use the Dilophosaurus method. See way too many people saying in public servers or even trading plazas looking for Dilophosaurus, looking for rainbow Dilophosaurus. I am someone with a 15-second peacock, and I wouldn't even place one down, because let's take a look at the stats. So every 13 minutes, opens its whatever and spits out venom. Venom spreads to 4 other random pets, advancing the cooldown by 41 seconds or granting 753 XP. The only good part about this is that it's going to 4 different pets. However, yes, if you get this rainbow, yes, it's pretty useful. But that 753 XP is what's screwing me up. And the cooldown that it's being reduced by isn't very good as well. I would prefer pets such as the sea turtle. Much more easier to obtain. And yeah, it's a pretty common pet. So place down the sea turtle and let's take a look at this ability. Every 11 minutes, and this is a lower age, lower KG, and it has a lower cooldown time, and it gives more XP. Now, it is only to one pet, which might seem like an issue. However, if you are doing this right with the peacocks, which will hopefully be max level, and the French eye ferret's max level, you should really only have one pet you are actually trying to level up. Therefore, the sea turtle is just going to be much quicker and much more efficient. So, a few peacocks, few French eye ferrets, and maybe a sea turtle, and the pet you're trying to level up is a very OP setup. And of course, this isn't going to be an XP pet leveling video without me talking about owls, which I believe owls have completely fallen off the table. We got the barn owls, which actually aren't bad. We got the night owl, and we have the blood owls. Blood owls are trash. Barn owls are really good, just not really for leveling up pets. You place it down. Let's take a look at the stats. Yeah, it's better. I would say it's definitely better than the blood owl, just because it overall has a better stats, especially if you get it rainbow. But the wisp. Don't use owls unless you don't have access to a wisp. A wisp is infinitely times better. And let me just find it. You do need to have a well down, so that's the only downside about this. But come on. Okay, click on my wisp. Okay, view. As long as you have, look at that. That is more than a barn owl. It's more than a blood owl. And this is lower age. You get rainbow on this. It actually is pretty OP, but it does not benefit from the peacock or any refreshing pet ability pets such as the queen bee. Now, the reason I put the queen bee on the list was because it does have a semi-useful ability. A rainbow queen bee is not bad. However, it's just kind of a waste of pet slot when you can have an extra French eye ferret or an extra peacock down. But if you have a queen bee and you want to refresh the ability of your Dilophosaurus or sea turtle, it can be kind of useful. However, it's only really good when you have a big, like, Titanic one. But I just felt I have seen some people talk about that as an XP farming method. So now you know all the pets that you need to use, and the most new way, the most efficient way to level up your pets. But now, what do you do once you get these leveled up pets? Well, all these leveled up pets are really nice. And oh, one more thing. I'm real sorry for cutting to this. Don't use the pet incubator. It is drastically slower than even using like capybaras. It's just so bad. But you can put a pet in it. It's like having an extra pet down that doesn't do anything. It's just not good. But if you have it, I guess use it. But obviously your goal is to get level 50 pets so you can put it in the pet mutation machine to hopefully get golden, rainbow, and I guess ascended. But golden, rainbow, mega are the most desirable mutations, adding a ton of value to pets, especially if they're max level. That's a really quick, easy way to gain a ton of value quickly in Grow a Garden. However, it takes 1 hour to have the pet in the pet mutation machine. So that's why this pet is extremely, extremely good. Only if you have them pretty big sized or multiple of them. And that's the golem pet. And it's actually kind of overrated or underlooked. It's not overrated at all. Basically, every 6 minutes goes to the mutation machine and tinkers with it and advances time by 51 seconds. Now, equip that with peacocks and you maybe just need to take away one french fry ferret. That can take that time down to, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes, which is not bad at all. So I'd recommend having a golem when you're trying to spam pet mutations. However, it's very important that you have one of these 2 garden slots, the back 2 closest to the mutation machine, to save that extra time in between. Now, this is all very good. You finally get that pet mutation, but you need to, let's say you get tiny on it, and you were going for mega. That really stinks. So you got to go back to leveling up the pet. However, there's one pet that will help with this. It's going to be the Phoenix pet, if I can find it. Right here, and let's place down the Phoenix, look at its OP ability, and keep in mind Phoenixes are really easy to find, so many people have them, and they aren't in as much as demand as I would have thought, because this is definitely one of the better pet abilities we've gotten recently. I accidentally picked it up. Alright, Phoenix, where's the Phoenix? Oh my gosh, Phoenix, right there. Can't see with all these other pets. But basically, pets taken from the pet mutation machine have a bonus 1 to basically 5 age to your value. If you get 8 of them, that is, quick math, 40. That's up to age 40. And you only need a pet to age 50 to put it in the pet mutation machine. Now, last thing I have for today's video, or it's kind of a few things, but they all go together. And that is, play the admin abuse. It is so very important. He stocks tons of level up lollipops. Not so much the medium treats. Don't worry about using treats. The treats are just not good compared to all these methods I've been talking about. That's just like using capybaras and treats. It's just going to be so slow. But toys are very good, especially on those peacocks and french fry ferrets. But you need to make sure you go into the festival gear shop and stock up on these acorn lollipops. And basically, they do what a level up lollipop does, but to fall-related pets. If you have fall-related pets you're trying to age up, farm those. And then we have the golden acorn, which resets a pet back to age 1, but empowers it with a random mutation. Pet must be over the age of 40. Why is this so good when we already have the pet mutation machine? Well, pet mutation machine, your pet needs to be level 50 or up, and you have to wait an hour. Well, with the golden acorn, you only need a level 40 pet, and it only takes, I don't know, matter of seconds to put it on your pet. So it is extremely, extremely OP, and I recommend stocking up on these. I should be listening to my advice because I have only done the Fall Bloom 175 times, and I have not played the new event at all, so I need to get on the grind before I regret it. But guys, that is all I have for you guys for today's video. Make sure to comment down below any additional methods. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. And much crazy videos coming out soon. Make sure to turn on post notifications. And I'll see you in the next one.